So when you talk about that now, you really, you know. But my point here is right now is in the Gospel of Thomas. Is that thing on?
Yeah.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
The Gospel of Thomas said that when your eyes open, you will be troubled. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm.
You want to get started?
Yeah, well, let's just...
I mean, do the introduction. We can go ahead and roll.
Yeah, okay, go ahead. What is it? Something to 5?
You ready?
Yeah,
we're going
naturally. They're going to start getting here around that time.
You know how niggas are.
Yeah.
Ready? Cool. All right, once again, we're back. Welcome once again. People here from Virginia, people coming all over. We're loving this, you know. Y'all coming from Mississippi, Greensboro.
Yeah.
You know, we got people coming from South Carolina. So it's all good. And Sister Erica, I mean that though. For real, because we need you. We need more sisters to be dropping the sign. So proud of that. And you know that's going to be on the tape, so people going to see it when they go all around the country. They're going to see who's that sister. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put that on the conversation y'all said. I'm going to put that on the CD, volume 12, at the beginning. A conversation of the sister. See, that's powerful, you know, so I appreciate that. And that's spiritual too. You know, especially after watching your girl, Aaliyah. That shit was bad. But anyway, welcome again. This is Brother Bobby Hemmitt. Last night was off the hook. I think everybody thoroughly enjoyed that. It was revitalizing. It was incredible. We had a good time. Now, at the break, after we take our break, we got some food back there for you, of course, so you don't have to worry about going anywhere. You know, my famous red beans and rice that I put my foot in. You know, so it's always good. You know, so we'll educate you on that later on when we come to the break. Of course, we got latest videos back there. Make sure you sign in, write your complete address so I can get in touch with you. We got the bumping CDs back there, and we got it going on up in here. So, with any further ado,
no, I didn't get it. This is yours.
Yeah, I know you. Okay, it's cool. Brother Bobby Hemmitt.
Yeah. And we're going to pour libations to the entities. I want to make a comment on this. You know Brother Walter Williams' book, The Historical Origins of Christianity, which is groundbreaking. Several books that basically put the foot, that really try to give people a greater one. You'll give some of those, list of those ones like Man, God, and Civilization, John G. Jackson. Christianity Before Christ, John G. Jackson. Mother of Major Western Africa, Mother of Major Western Religions, Dr. Yosef Ben Yakinin. The Moses Mystery, Gary Greenberg, Moses and Monotheism. Sigmund Freud. Moses, Pharaoh of Egypt by Ahmed Osman. Ahmed Osman. But even most people, if they would hit a historical side and go, well, you know, that's all well and fine, but they don't necessarily prove that my Bible came from that. You know, because you're gonna try to squirm and get out of it any kind of way you want to. Because unfortunately, too much is wrapped up. You have to give up too much when you come out of a particular system. You got to give up a whole lot of friends. You know, there's one guy here that wrote the book Urban Voodoo. He said, well, man, what was it that made me stay in the church that long? He said, basically because I had an extended community, and everybody wants to belong, even down to the gang member. They said, well, what made you get a gun and go and shoot somebody over some colors? But they said that these people, these were my brothers and my family, when I didn't have no family. So therefore, based on, when you're talking this kind of thing here, any type of information, like they said, conscious information, or anything where you have to come out of a regular system, the general system is a lonely journey. So basically, this is why you have people that basically, don't want to get rid of their belief system, because their whole social paradigm has to change. The whole social phenomenon, the plateau has to change. You know, it's just like one of my friends, he used to be a drunk. You know, well, he didn't used to be no drunk. He used to just drink a lot. He was one of them people that could drink a person under the table and it don't affect him. And the reason why it didn't affect him, because he could just quit. He's one of those people that he just could just quit, because he said, I never liked nothing to control me. So basically, by him not being the drunk, he could just go and say, he's like, I'm tired of this, and just quit. Cold turkey, one of those type of people. And all, you know what I'm saying? And I have that ability, if I want to just always could just quit. a lot of times, somebody would say, damn, man, you don't eat that no more. I just said, like I said, man, you used to drink that wine and stuff like that. What happened? I said, oh, I forgot. I said, a month came by and I just forgot. I forgot to drink it. Then I looked up and said, damn, I ain't had none of this in a couple of months. So you have people like that don't have an addictive nature. But this brother said, whenever he decided to stop, he said, you know, when he went back to the bar to hang out with the brothers, he said, I'm still in your bars, I'm just not drinking. They were like, what, you think you better than us? And basically, he had to get a whole new group of friends because they were not going to allow that because their whole life was based on the social aspect of the drinking. You see what I'm saying? And he said, you know, he became a vegetarian overnight and his own wife felt alienated because that eating was a social pattern. You see what I'm saying? So therefore, we talking about down here, you got to have some kind of vices. You see what I'm saying? You got to have some type of vice. Fortunately, people gravitate towards groups and stuff to get those particular people in that social arena. So therefore, the preacher or whatever, even the people in church, they're not going to change because the social arena is also too. They're making money. So ultimately, they don't even believe in nothing. Because the black people really believed in what they're supposed to believe in. You understand what I'm saying? You wouldn't have a people praying on you all the time. Let me give you an example. We still hear black men going to jail. So much until it don't hold no water no more. This shit done got tired. You know, so motherfucker had to look, fuck that. I don't want to hear nothing about no nigga in no jailhouse. Now I'm gonna tell you what I mean by that. Let me give you an example. If it was a doggone them Jews, and the Jews would have looked up and said, hey, guess what? There's a pattern here where the doggone government and the cities are locking up our youth. I'm talking about the European Jews. In 10 years, they would have developed a counterculture. Don't go to jail. It is anti-Jewish to go to jail. You understand what I'm saying? Just like they develop a counterculture of anti-Semitism. You see what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Just like we develop a counterculture of anti-stereotypes. You understand what I'm saying? So, if you know, or see, this is just a basic human survival. If you know a people is basically sending your ass to jail, then out of 10 years, you should have developed a counterculture that basically you don't go to jail just for the simple fact you are black and you're a black man. You see what I'm saying? So you're talking about a people that's reduced to a level of savagery because the simple fact that we don't even deal with the basic survival skills. So now it don't hold no water for no conscious person. Our brothers and sisters in jail. No, fuck them niggas in the damn jailhouse. You see what I'm saying? Because what you're dealing with here, you're dealing with something, you're putting water in a bucket, and there's a hole in the bottom of the bucket. And so therefore we never get off one plateau. And that's why our particular system don't get year after year after year. But nobody never thought about that. Now when they had three plane crashes in 1984. And even right here, Charlotte is the hub to USA. And they had a damn wreck in Charlotte in the hub. But they got together in the fall of the year and they say 0 plane crashes. You see what I'm saying? And basically, who can stop that? Now, you mean to tell me this white man, he's saying an accident is, for the definition of the word, it's an accident. It's nothing that's intended. But they're saying, based on what we know we're capable of doing, we're going to say 0 accidents. You see what I'm saying? Now, if they can do that, and knowing that basically, ultimately, they can't stop that. But it's interesting because they did, because the only planes that fell out of the sky in the 1990s, after 1994, they blew them up. They blew up Value Jet, they blew up TWA. You see what I'm saying? And there's one that has some AIDS specialists, that Egyptian Air or something that blew up or something. The point I'm trying to make here is, that's a counterculture. You see what I'm saying? That's a doggone counterculture. So on the other hand, going back, we can do things, going back to, we do things basically because of the social aspect of things. So nobody, it's not generally because black people generally want to know that their Bible is virtually a lie. You see what I'm saying? They don't want to know that. But I put that out there for this here because, so we're not giving bibliography to somehow try to convince a bunch of people. You know, a bunch of people. Let me give you an example. I know people, because their children went to jail, they would rather see your children in jail because misery love company, and also if they can raise themselves up to know that somebody else is in trouble. So generally when you're talking about human life, especially in Western culture, it is really worthless. It's not worth a damn thing. It's basically competition and survival. And it never gets off the survival level. Now the entire world is that way now. I'll give you an example. I was talking to a sister from Ethiopia. And she said, well, all that you're saying, Bobby, is fine to know my history. She said, but fortunately, I had a black father in the United States, and my mama was Ethiopian. So I'm accepting this because of the simple fact I come out of a family of struggle based on the part from the United States half. But like she said, if my whole family had come from Ethiopia, because I've been Ethiopian and I already know what they're dealing with, I pretty much wouldn't be in this. And she said, because you got to understand. I said, okay, well, give me the synopsis of how the people think. And she made a good point. She said, I go all over Africa. And she said, the people, their whole life consists of surviving. You know, we get up, we go to a supermarket, and we go and buy what we want. The process of how it got there, we don't give a damn, because it's already there for us. So it frees us up in America that we don't have to worry about that. Whereas these people, the process, because they don't eat processed food, a lot of that, their whole thing is they got to go and get, even if they do find some meat, a lot of times it's live. You see what I'm saying? Even if they find vegetables. So the whole so the entire concept of even eating each day is a complete journey from where they got to go to get the food to the time they get it to the table. So these people never get off the survival level. They're in survival mode at all times. So the intellectual faculties to even ponder freedom, you see what I'm saying, is not even a part of their own cultural outlook. So she was like, these people, you know, their whole thing, what we take for granted as far as water, you know what I'm saying? And different things we do, it frees us up. That's why Dick Gregory said the people who run the world don't work at all. You see, they don't work at all. You see what I'm saying? And so when they said, I tell them, I said, well, you know, the people said, what you do now, man? You know, I say, basically, man, I roll out the damn bed and think of what I'm going to do. I do absolutely, positively nothing. But why? It gives my mind time to think, if I want to think. I still have the freedom to think. You see? That's the difference. These people, those particular people that run the world don't work at all. So they can ponder this and ponder that. Some people ask me, you know, well, I said, well, you know, we sit in a house in college, me and some other brothers in a house in college in 1990. You know, this is my college career days. Because, you know, I entered in 80 and stayed around till like 92 and 93. You know, so I was always affiliated with the college. But you know, and stuff. But we used to sit around in the house and just talk about how we getting out of this, or how we gonna help black people get out of this. But then again, on the other hand, we had the freedom to do that because we were students. You see what I'm saying? Because we were students, so we were not on lockdown on the survival mode. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Same thing with the brothers and sisters in the projects. You see, they're never outside of the survival mode. And when you think about it, most black upper mobile people, 98% when you go around the ones and stuff, because I tread all the different societal aspects and stuff because I'm a part of all that. But you go around the brothers and sisters in college, 98% of what they talk, my zipper. No, it's not. It's closed. It's zipped. Oh, don't scare me like that.